morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Philip John Neimar, the founder of the Foundation International. I'd like to welcome you to one of the final iterations of this year's weekly ifascope. And before commenting on the ifascope specifically, let me just comment on what's going on. Part of it is going to apply to the reading for the year, which some of you will see in about 2 or 3 days, and some of you will see in a couple of weeks. But regardless, the message is the same, and it rang out loud and clear to me this week. And that is, look, things change, and we are all reticent about change. That change could be for the better or for the worse. But basically, it's change. And right now, the nonsense of the attacks on the United States are being adequately taken care of. Yes, some people may get hurt. That will be unfortunate. And through IFA, we could keep those people from running into those kinds of issues. But basically, not more than are killed by handguns each year, or by global warming, or by any other kinds of things. But it is the unknown. This, oh my heavens, we could go to this store, we could go to the symphony, or we could go to the concert, and somebody's going to be waiting there with a gun or something. Well, it is the consequence of where we are today. It's a consequence of the kind of lives that we have lived. And, in one sense, it is the new reality. It doesn't mean it's a reality that is going to hurt you. As a matter of fact, to the extent that you will let go of that fear, which doesn't mean letting go of common sense. It doesn't mean walking blindly into a neighborhood or an area, or where something is going on. It means just not having fear any more of it's going to hurt you or hurt your family, and replacing that with the kind of hope that so many of the things which the United States and the rest of the world indeed are pointing out as positive ways to make all of our lives more meaningful, better. I thought that the passing of the 96 adherence to the climate bill was incredibly important. 30% of that bill has to do with helping our environment, specifically helping our environment. That's much more important than a couple of people running around with AK-47s. We have more than our share of AK-47s to take care of them, and also I'm sure that our armed forces will, bit by bit, remove that terror threat from these people bothering us. And it's only going to be replaced by another one. It's a series. It's like my grandfather used to say, cancer is the new thing now. It was for him. But he said every time we cure a disease and we think everything's going to be fine, or the antibiotic we have works, we find out that there are problems with it and something else that must be done. So understand that it's the new world that we live in. It's not a world to be feared or frightened of. It's a world to be cautious of. But the same common sense that you use in sending your child out to ride his tricycle, or to borrow the car for the first time. All of those kinds of decisions are going to make you the reading for the year, much more formidable opponents. In the meantime, this week the Odu is Osa OB, and it comes off path. The Osa is in the temporal everyday side and talks about sudden positive change, and the OB is on the spiritual side, and it talks about the streaming, swath of opportunities and our ability and necessity to select the right ones for ourselves. And indeed, it seems to me very clear that we, were off path and should be off path because we have been discombobulated or upset. We haven't found our sea legs, as the saying goes, and adapted to this new reality. So it comes EB with Iwari Ogun, and it's something we need to work on. It's something we need to, think about, pray to the Orisha, learn what we have to do, provide ourselves with the bows necessary, and go on about having a life even more meaningful than it was before the attack in Europe or the crazies here or whatever it is. We have our own set of crazies. That's how it is. I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately that is how it is. So, and the area of impact here is very, very strongly it's Obi Meiji success. In other words, our success is going to be, absolutely limited by our failure to respond to the sudden positive change in the temporal side, which is saying to us, we need to change up our thinking. We need to take this into consideration, understand it's a reality, understand it's not a very dangerous reality, but something that we need to keep an eye on. And after that, we need to open up to all these new wondrous things, that are going on, because they're much more important. And long after, the caliphate is gone, our saving the planet is going to be much more necessary. So, in order to find our way back to our bearings, the Igbo goes to Oshun. And that seems like a very, very, positive, answer, a way to look at it. It's about getting back in touch with joy and happiness and love and all those kinds of things. And forgetting or being, or throwing out this, mantle of fear. Fear can kill you. And by the way, that's what, that's what they're doing. That's what the caliphate would love, Close the whole school system, just with a phone call. And interestingly enough, in New York, which has a more, I believe, sophisticated and then hardened group of people containing this kind of thing, they said no. That this looks like a total farce to us, and so forget it. California responded in California type fashion, and air to be doubly safe. But basically, it was a non-starter. So what we want to do is give Oshun honey, and if we give Oshun that honey, we want to take a glass of cool water, place it there. That's a single glass, by the way. It's not a group glass. It's not it's not 7 or 9 glasses. It's a single glass of water. and a bowl of honey, and whatever suffices for Oshun for us. And we need to place that honey in front of Oshun and pray for not only a return to being healthy and positive, but indeed to have, the internal belief system that this is all going to work out, that this is all just part of the growth of this nation, of the people here, and that's how it's going to be. And offer her the honey. Light a candle, a single tea candle. Say the prayer. Think about it, and watch what happens. Because life, and particularly Ifa life, is about joy and happiness and good behavior, and it's not about fear, cowering, and getting even. Until next time, love and blessings.